There is no difference in your politicians. A politician is gonna have the back of the coal company because the coal company's the one with money. They're the ones gonna give them campaign contributions. They're not worried about the people living up in trailers up in the head of the holler because they ain't gonna have no money to give them.
It's a very strong and passionate choice as a young person to stay in West Virginia and to fight for the future that I know we all want and deserve.
What motivates me to keep going? Spite. Honestly, I hate these coal companies. I want to see them run out of town.
Junior Walk works for Coal River Mountain Watch, a nonpartisan advocacy organization. He's been fighting the coal industry for the past 8 years and holding it accountable because he says not enough is being done to stop the destruction. Using his drone, he says he's able to record violations at active mine sites and abandoned zombie coal mines.
That's from a coal slurry spill. That's from a coal slurry spill.
Junior files civilian complaints using video evidence and demands officials enforce the regulations by charging coal companies for violations.
Holds back 3 billion gallons of toxic waste.
He's been personally involved with filing at least 27 civilian complaints, according to the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection. 7 of those have led to fines.
We live on a planet of finite resources, and these companies operate under this concept of exponential growth, and those two can't be reconciled. One of these days, they're going to run out of resources. Hopefully, we'll still have some mountains left here.
Abandoned zombie coal mines are inactive coal mines that were never properly shut down. These sites contaminate water and destroy natural habitats, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Junior grew up in West Virginia, seeing the impact of the coal industry firsthand.
Can you talk to me about the history of coal mining in your family?
My grandfather was an underground coal miner for 20 years. Later on, my dad, when I was a kid, started working for Massey. He worked there for 16 years and eventually got too sick to keep working.
Junior also ended up working in the coal industry himself.
A few months before I graduated high school, I realized that my family didn't have the money to send me to college, and so I was stuck here. And that's when I went to work at Elk Run. I worked at the Elk Run processing plant, and I worked as a security guard on a surface mine.
What was your final straw? What made you leave?
I started feeling awful about it, about what was going on, about that money that was going into my pocket. It felt like blood money. You know, after a few months of that, I was offered a position on staff here at Coal River Mountain Watch. I was still living at home with my parents at that time. I mean, I was only 19.
Junior says his family was worried that his activism would put his dad's job at risk, so he left home. We reached out to Alpha Metallurgical Resources, the company that ultimately acquired Massey, but they didn't respond.
Stop right now! Stop right now! Stop right now! Defund! Defund! FVP! Defund!
In West Virginia, good jobs are few and far between.
Mariah Clay is an organizer working to educate the community about clean energy and protecting natural waterways.
We have powered the entire country with generations of the most intense and fatal labor that has ever come out of the extraction economy in America.
Mariah, along with several environmental activist groups, organized a rally in Charlotte, North Carolina to protest the funding of the Mountain Valley Pipeline and the proposed Southgate extension. In a statement to NBC News, Equitrans Midstream Corporation, the majority owner of the pipeline, said the project is being completed in an environmentally responsible and protective manner, consistent with standards set by the federal and state agencies.
To get a job with the pipeline or the coal industry, they are well-paying jobs. There are implications to their health that, we have to think about, but in terms of family supporting jobs, those are those jobs.
Zombie mines span swaths of West Virginia, but there isn't a reliable tracking system to know exactly how many there really are. One study estimates that there are over 633,000 acres of them in the Appalachian region in need of some degree of reclamation or cleanup, and the cost could be somewhere between $7.5 to $9.8 billion.
Something like 95%, very typically, of all of the acid going into a stream are coming from abandoned mines.
Paul Zymkowitz with the Water Research Institute at West Virginia University has been working on some solutions to clean up West Virginia's water sources. What are some of the common challenges with trying to reclaim or clean up these abandoned mines?
Oftentimes the biggest issue is identifying not so much the technology for cleaning them up, but just the resources available, because invariably there are more liabilities out there than there are funds to address them.
Speaking for yourself as an environmentalist, how are you feeling about the 2024 election?
The presidential election does not represent poor rural communities in West Virginia, so I try to focus on local politics as much as possible, which doesn't feel as hopeless.
You know, I'd rather focus on the here and now and what I can do today as an individual to make that change and make that difference here in West Virginia, to make a better future and a brighter future here for our people. And I don't think any presidential election is really going to have much bearing on that.
What does success look like for you in this work?
Success looks like the biggest dollar amount that we can possibly get pulled out of those coal companies' pockets to make it less and less economically viable for them to continue doing this. And I'll call it a success once they're all gone.
West Virginians deserve clean water, we deserve safety, and we deserve a just transition. And until a candidate can openly say that, I don't know if I'll have faith.